Following the release of his sixth EP this year, The Old Me, How I Met Your Baby Mother, I interviewed Brooklyn MC Sha Stimuli after being a fan of the work that he's been putting out. I got a chance to talk with him, speak with him for more clarity on his former label situation with Virgin Records. Also asked him his favorite EP of this series so far, and got a little inside information on the next one. Take a listen. Can you explain your former label situation? I know you had deal with Virgin before and Def Jam.
Yeah. I mean, I try to sum it up because I don't even remember everything that happened. But in 2005, I signed to Virgin Records after what I thought then was a long grind in the industry. And the guy that signed me, Lenny S, rest in peace to Lenny's mom too. He was a guy I interned for back in 1997 at Rockefeller Records. So it's a lesson to all you guys out there about interning and putting in your work. So it paid off when he got the job at Virgin. But when Jay Z became president of Def Jam, he tried to like recruit all of his old staff and bring them back to work with him. So Lenny was one of the people he called, and Lenny was excited to go. Not that Virgin wasn't a great place; it was just Def Jam was home. It was more urban. It was where he wanted to be, and when he told Jay he wanted to bring me along, Jay was with it, and the process started going through, and you could chalk it up to label politics. Social networks weren't as prevalent as they are today. So back then, when you got signed, you kind of not that we waited for the label, but technically we weren't. When we got the record deal, we weren't where we were before that. Like everything we did was grassroots mixtapes, on the streets, online. Like I'm doing blogs for this, that, thinking that the goal was the deal. Then when we got the deal, my whole team kind of was divided. Half of us wanted to stay at Virgin, half of us wanted to go to Def Jam. So we didn't put the same effort forth that, we were waiting. We were pretty much like, we're gonna hold off this next mixtape, we're gonna hold off everything and wait for this big announcement. Sha Stimuli's on Def Jam. And that turned into a year and a half of waiting. And throughout that time, the quote unquote blog rapper kind of snuck in, and the things that I was doing online, people caught wind of, not just me, but it was just that method of notoriety. Because when I walked into the Virgin office and they saw what we were doing online, they didn't understand it. They weren't up to that part yet. So we showing them hits and blogs and views and sites and all of this, and they were like, "You're not on radio. Like
Yeah.
we don't understand all this." And then I got on radio, and then they signed me. So I say all that to say, with that year and a half of waiting to hit 2007, and Virgin never, at that time they didn't drop me. They were holding me because it's money involved. When you sign an artist and you give them an advance or you give them a budget, they want their money back. So they were like, we're not gonna drop you because that way Def Jam can pick you up for free. We want Def Jam to pay back this money. They added on to my bill, whatever it was, they doubled it. And of course, their books, we can't prove what was spent. So Def Jam probably looked at that and was like, "For who? No, we're not gonna do that." And I don't blame them at the time. My marketing wasn't together. I did get the chance to rap for Jay and the staff, but we didn't have a single. We just had the same potential that got me in the doors at Virgin, and I had everybody on that staff, ready to go because they saw the DVD that I did, and they were excited, and Jermaine Dupri felt like I didn't want to be there. So it's just a lot of things you learn in the business. I don't know if I could have changed anything or if I would have done anything differently because I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm thankful.
Right now, you got your Rent Tape series. Now, I
Yep.
love it. I love them because they're mad personal, and I can relate to it. It's like your music. I feel like it's something I can relate to,
Right.
and everything's topical, or it's just a matter of how you're feeling at the time. Do
hmm
you have a personal favorite one so far?
So far, I don't really have favorites. I have ones that I can listen to and cringe the least. So
Okay.
I, I will say the Truman Show is probably that for me right now.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought it would be the this one because it was so personal,
Hmm.
and I was like, and I've said this before. I tell people all the time when they complain about certain things artistically with me is that I lose sight of the entertainment value. I admit to that. A lot of times, what people don't know is I write without a beat. So I'm sitting with songs like right now. I have 5 or 6 songs for the next tape, and I have no tracks. Like I'll start looking through old beats and try to make stuff fit, and it doesn't always work. But that's why I'm putting out EPs, and I'm only charging $5. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have an A&R or somebody that's like, nah, that's not it, or that doesn't fit, or that's not the hottest beat, or it doesn't sound like right now. With the Truman Show, I really was not. I had no clue what was working and what wasn't. You know, it was just things I wanted to say, things I wanted to let out. Some of those songs were just like the song "The Future."
Hmm.
I tried that to about 3 or 4 different beats, and I called Jay Cardam's manager one day. I was like, "Yo, there's a joint that y'all did maybe 6, 7 years ago with dudes singing on it, Lee Wilson," and I was like, "Yo, that it just it speaks to me, and I need that joint." And it was like, "Yo, go ahead, rock." So a song like that, you know, is you can't critique stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about if you see the future, like ask it questions for me. You know what I'm saying? And I stole that line from Maxwell. That's from a
Okay.
Maxwell song. So I say all that to say the Truman Show to me is the most personal. I love the march for what it stands for because a lot of people can't talk about things outside of themselves. You know, Drake made a career off of just his own experiences, and a lot of artists that we listen to that we love, they talk about them. So you know, gone are the Public Enemies, and you know, rare are the Lupe Fiascos and the Killer Mikes that can touch on different things and not sound as preachy. So for me to just go there and put it in a way that was not browbeating you, because a lot of people probably didn't get that when I talked about racism with Praying for Aliens. I'm not like I'm not leaning towards a black side or saying, yo, the white man's keeping us down. Like, I'm not saying anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing topics out there and letting people make up their own minds. I think that's the beautiful part of where I am in the game. Like, I have the opportunity and the ability to do that. If I was on a label, it would be all about spins and marketing and although that stuff brings in money and it gives notoriety, I enjoy what I'm doing now. So I like those two. The chills will always be dear to me because it really, really captures where a lot of people are. Like a lot of people I know are in that 30, late 20s age bracket and don't have it together. And they're not, it's not like they're depressed or down. It's just like you look around and be like, wait a minute. I'm not driving that car I wanted to drive. I'm not living where I thought I was going to be living. And it's not that you don't see a way out, but you just, it's a little bit of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And I just remember being a kid thinking like, that ain't gonna be me. Like I'm gonna be balling, you know. And I just wrote songs about it. So
Any clues on what the next Rent Tape series is gonna be about, or is it gonna keep it a surprise?
I planned on doing the new me.
Okay.
I just don't know what the hell that entails. I'm serious. Like I that was the plan, do the old me and then do the new me. And I have these things somewhat mapped out,
Hmm.
but there is proof that there's a God because I don't know how the hell this stuff comes together. And just when people, donate and spend for it, it's like it's a true blessing. And I just moved, so the Rent Tape series is really like it's really the Rent Tape series. Like it's real right now. Like somebody just stole my bank card. And I could put this out there.
Oh
Somebody
man.
stole my account number or something like that. I went to buy some gas, and luckily the charges come to my phone.
Hmm.
I saw another charge somewhere else at the same exact time. Like I had to shut down my card. So I don't even know if the money that people are buying the tape right now is going to me, but I gotta find some way to pay my rent. And I'm just thankful that people are listening, you know. And that's honest.
Get that card situation taken care of, man. That's
Yeah.
bad.
We'll get it right.
They call me the president.
Don't you dare shed a tear, baby.
But ironically,
Because I live my life.
I'm not always focused on right now.
I live my life through.
That's real. Look, if you see the future, ask about a kid named Sherrod. Is he still spitting?